That's What She Said. My name is Beth Kelling, and I'm going to talk about my family's company, Sherman Buildings, and also one of my favorite topics, leadership. Being in business with my dad, brothers, and nephews in a male-dominated industry has taught me new ways to show up and speak up. It has sharpened my voice and strengthened my purpose. There's nothing like building something real with the people that you love. In 50 years, we haven't heard of a single one of our buildings go down, because at Sherman, we don't just talk about erections. We make them last forever. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Bethy Bear.
So you are the CEO of Sherman. You have had your hand in every part
Is that
of the
a
business.
statement or a question?
A statement.
Okay, all right.
You've had your hand in every part of the business and made it what it is. You've created a company that your children, siblings like me, friends, cousins, and others want to be a part of. You are a leader, a builder, a visionary, and the best problem solver that I know. So how do you define yourself?
Lazy. Always looking for an opportunity to delegate rather than do. Like I love to figure it out and get it started, but then get bored instantly. So I'm super lazy. I'm always bored. I'm always chasing something new.
Yeah, that is you.
That's who I am.
How do you hope that your family defines you?
I'll probably be dead when they really start talking about it, so it won't really matter to me at that point. They can say whatever they want. But, I don't know. I hope that... doesn't matter.
How do you hope that your employees and coworkers define you?
Maybe just as inspired. One of the saddest things is watching somebody who that gives up before they even try, or thinks that, because of who their parents are, or, whatever socioeconomic group that they were born into defines who they are going to be forever, instead of trying something, and risking it. So, and I have a really short memory too. So when I do make mistakes, I do get hurt, I lose money, something falls apart, I forget it very quickly and just go right back to trying something, trying it again, rather than learning from my mistakes and let's just be safe. So,
yeah,
lazy, dumb, and
Okay, so spring is coming up, my favorite season. What is the first memory that comes to mind of you being out on the crew building a building in the spring?
In the spring, it's always mud. I always think of all the job sites where you walk outside and it's just beautiful weather and you think, oh, this is going to be great. And you get to a job site and first thing that happens is you get stuck. So that's what I always think about in spring.
So
patience. You should have patience in the spring.
Can you think of a time that you got stuck and had a fun time?
That I had a fun time?
Yeah.
Getting
stuck in the mud?
Fun time stuck in the mud. Actually, got one of our big boom trucks stuck, and so we were using the winch.
Oh, up at the farm that time?
Not at the farm. This was at a building, and we were trying to use the winch to pull ourselves out, and we just had to keep getting more and more chain and more tow straps to reach trees farther and farther away, because we just kept ripping everything out of the ground. And so, it was fun because there was a fun group of people, but it wasn't fun in the amount of time and energy that was flushed down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always say that we aren't selling pole buildings, we're selling happiness. Can you explain that?
Wow, you were listening. Well, I don't think anybody's selling anything other than happiness. People that can afford a pole building, for the most part, already have food, shelter, clothing kind of taken care of, and so when they spend money beyond that, they're buying a boat, they're buying a four-wheeler, they're buying a car, they're buying stuff to enhance their lives, to make it better, and then we sell the happiness of keeping it safe, having a place to put it that's out of the weather and away from vandals or thieves, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we're contributing to the happiness that they're buying us. And I mean, buildings are great just by themselves, even if it's just sitting there empty. They're beautiful to look at as a yard ornament. Big 60 by 120. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. So Simon Sinek, my favorite leader of leadership, says that before we can stand out, we have to decide what we stand for. What do we stand for at Sherman?
I think one of the things for me is the future. Another thing you may or may not have heard me say is that I don't care about today. I don't care if it's we make money or things go perfect today. It's about learning and preparing for the next step for tomorrow. So that human drive that I think most of us have is perpetually looking for improvement, perpetual betterment, pursuit of betterment. And I think that's what it is for me, is Sherman gives individuals the opportunity to climb up a ladder. I think that's why we have such a long tenure for people, is there's just always somewhere to go. So if they want, if they don't want, I mean, they're fine idling wherever at whatever position they're at. But better yourself, better everything, better our system.
So there's one question I gave you ahead of time because I wanted a good answer. So I hope you have a good answer. Simon also talks about infinite players in business. Those are players who focus on the continuation and evolution of their industry rather than on winning, and how people playing this way have to prepare themselves to be surprised. Can you give some examples of when you've prepared yourself to be surprised?
Prepared myself to be surprised, like from people?
Just in business in general. I told you this question yesterday.
Yeah, but I just admitted that I'm lazy and I'm stupid, so.
Okay.
No, I can't give you an example. I'm always hoping to be surprised. So I guess because of that, I don't think I am very often. Because you don't know what you don't know. So as soon as you start thinking, oh, I know how this is going to work out, I know what's going to happen here, you're going to be disappointed, right? So I don't know. I should have thought about that. I'm sorry I didn't. But maybe what's the opposite of surprised? Disappointed because you have an expectation, right? If you had the expectation that something was gonna happen, you would not ever be surprised, right?
Yeah, and your brain works differently where you just like being surprised and nothing really stresses you out. Like you can take everything and turn it into an experience and an opportunity. So maybe you're just hardwired to be surprised. And that's why you're such a good business person.
Maybe, yeah.
And a problem solver. So when I came back to Sherman 3 years ago.
It's only been 3 years?
Yeah, 3.5.
Okay.
Maybe 4 this fall. So there was a woman receptionist and a woman in the shop. And since then, there's Katie, Jules, Heather, Erin, Haley, Julie, Carrie, Shay, Jessica, and Veda. 10 more women in the last 3 years. So my question is, how did you even stay organized? What is the biggest thing you've noticed having women around the office? Because it was almost 50 years with none around. What I've noticed is cleaner bathrooms. I used to stop here and it would just be horrible.
Yeah, big changes. When we were just a small group in the office, long time ago, we were all smokers. It's like 4 of us that worked in the office, maybe 5, and every single one of us were smokers.
Yeah, when I worked here from 18 to 21, I sat and smoked, playing.
Everybody's keyboard had cigarette burns on them. I didn't even know if there was a bathroom, back in those days. The women in our business is probably the most dramatic change. Yeah. I mean, before it was
But that's
probably
not,
the ratio of admin to crew people has also changed. And there had been in the past a handful of women who had worked in the field. So as admin has grown, maybe we're just proof that women are better at admin than men are. You know, our short attention spans and, you know, inability to sit still and focus on, you know, getting things done. And women are just better at it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I remember the first Christmas party I was at 3 years ago when Dave and Aaron's wives came up to me and were like, "Oh my gosh, they're so much happier in the evenings because you just organized everything so much." And I'm like, yeah, that's my superpower, is just putting the files back where I found them.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of rules about things like that before, but not very well followed or enforced.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for bringing order to the Sherman universe. Yeah.
So why are our customers our customers?
I mean, that's a great question. I think, you know, everybody has this image of themselves and who their followers are and why people like them and approve of them. But sometimes I think it's really dangerous to make an assumption and say, well, people like us and like our product because of this. And then you maybe start to ignore something or some other elements of it, because you never really know what the thing is, what speaks to somebody. Referrals, I think, are huge contributor to it. You know, a dedication to making sure that everyone is happy and we don't leave anybody out there unhappy. Because we are absolutely going to make mistakes. And in the sales process, that's a line I guess I've used a lot is, you know, don't judge us by how many mistakes we make, because we're going to make fucking mistakes. That's a known. Judge us by, you know, how we respond to them, how we fix them, how we take care of them. And so to me, that's a great message. If I'm a consumer looking at a product is, oh yeah, well, I used this thing and I had this issue and they took care of it. I love that. So I think maybe that's part of it is a lot of it is just, good referrals, good reviews. I know a lot of people love our billboards. I know, you know, guys like Todd do a great job. Sales guys do a great job of responding to customers and listening to them, helping them come up with a design and a building that, you know, works well for them. Returning phone calls, you know, that's a big one. I know when I was in the field, I would hear it a lot that, you know, a homeowner would tell me, you know, I called 4 places and 2 of them never called me back. Sherman called the next day. 2 of them never called me back, and 1 guy called me back, you know, like 2 weeks later. Just why are you bothering to be in business if you're not going to respond to inquiries about doing business? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Why are our employees our employees?
that's another great question. Yeah. Chemistry. They either like one of us as managers and owners and leadership, or they find a coworker in the field that they relate to and connect with, or I don't know. I mean, those are all great questions, and you think that you have it all figured out. It's all because, you know, we've got competitive pay and, you know, great benefits, and, you know, we really care about our people. I don't know. Maybe it's because they live 3 miles down the road, and if they have to, they can walk and make it to work every day. Maybe it's because they hate everybody, but somehow there's one person here that, you know, they can get along with, and that works out. And that's what they cling on to. I mean, I don't know. It's probably not because you and I are as wonderful as we think we are. I mean, I think we're pretty awesome, but it's probably something more than that. And people aren't always honest. I mean, if you ask them, why do you work here? Who knows why they would.
Yeah.
If you'd have had this interview 20 years ago, I think it would have had like different answers, because I would have thought, well, I know the answer to this. And maybe as you get older, you just realize you don't know anything.
Yeah. Or
you know very, very little.
Yeah. The older you get, the more you realize you don't know. I've heard that before.
Yeah. Yes. Always more questions than actual answers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a year with record-breaking company profits but constant stress, or steady growth with complete work-life balance? And I think I know the answer.
What's stress?
What is stress?
And the only reason I know stress exists is because I've witnessed other people endure it. I think Robin is colorblind, so he just has to trust people when they say, well, that's blue and that's red, or whatever colors he can't see. I just have to trust people that there is such a thing as stress, because what are you concerned about? We are all going to die. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing that stress can do, or worrying about things between today and that day, that's going to extend that. If anything, it's going to shorten it. So once you accept your mortality, you're going to die anyway. I mean, what else can happen? Right? I mean, there are horrible things that can happen, but thankfully, luckily, we're not exposed to too many of those horrible things very often. So what do we really have to worry about? Yeah.
I mean, I know that, but that doesn't mean that my body still doesn't feel stress. Like if I'm trying to get on a Zoom call and my body's reacting like there's a saber-toothed tiger running at me.
Yeah.
So I think that wire's just not connected in your brain. So we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, but no, it's relative. So I was reading this book. It was by a psychiatrist. It might have been Veda that wrote the book. But they were talking about, it doesn't matter if you are a soccer mom who feels like your child didn't get enough turf time today, and the anxiety and stress that causes you, versus a soldier on a battlefield being shot at. Your brain can't tell the difference. If it's more than you can handle, it's more than you can handle. If it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. We're all somewhere on the scale. So I just happen to be on a scale that everyday business life and stuff doesn't bother me. That doesn't mean that, I've always wondered if I was in a gas station when, somebody came in to rob the place. I think that, I'd grab, a bottle of something, and I'd, go get his gun from him and beat him to death with his own gun. That's what I think I would do. But until that happens, I don't know if I'll just be pissing myself behind the Dorito display. And who knows? Because I've never been there. And hopefully I never will. But until you're in that situation, you just don't know. Maybe I've just been in enough everyday situations that every day just doesn't cause me stress. So I'm sure it's there.
Yeah.
Just don't experience it a whole lot.
Because when you were younger, you used to get angry, but maybe that's how you express your stress.
I had a bad temper for sure.
Maybe when you were stressed out, that's when the temper came out. But
yeah, maybe.
And
no, it was like very fast, like very short fuse, and then you're just over it.
I think I know what took away your temper, but do you know?
No.
You have no idea? I just think having grandkids, you wanted them for.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
We were talking about it since Devin turned 18. You were like,
the biggest regrets that I have is losing my temper with my kids when they were young. That's whatever scars that created. You can never fix that. So, yeah, that's probably true. Just realizing that if they learned bad behavior from me and losing my temper, trying to apologize to them and tell them, that was really stupid of me. And I know I can't, wash it away. And more than likely, you're not going to learn, you're not going to, I can't magically tell you, hey, I learned this lesson, so, don't ever do this. That's just not how it works.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Otherwise, by now, civilization would be perfect because we just keep repeating the same fucking stupid mistakes that we make over and over again, right?
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Because you love challenges, obviously. Would you rather not have a challenge for a year or not have an erection for a year?
So I've got a on my chest that says, if does not, do not.
So.
Is that the answer to your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really weird question to get from your sister.
Well, quality erections, right?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in. Love you.
Thanks for embarrassing me.
Thank you so much for listening in on That's What She Said. If you are as passionate about leadership as I am, I would love to hear from you. Please go to my website at that'swhatsheshed.live to share feedback, ideas, and start the conversation of coming on the show.